Welcome everyone, Nicole here with Nicole Turner Yoga, and I am super excited to be delivering a new yin yoga for heart opening. And this is for Ali. She requested this. She's having some neck and shoulder and back pain from sitting at a desk for long periods of time. So if you also have a desk job or if you have to sit for long periods of time for work, then this class is going to be really good for you. So we're going to get started just in a comfortable seated position. So I recommend to sit on props. I've got my yoga blocks here. I like to sit on the first height and kind of come to the edge of the block, putting my knees down on the ground and kind of tilting the pelvis forward, little tuck in of the chin. And so we're really starting off here by lengthening the spine and feeling what that feels like. Because a lot of us, when we're sitting for long periods of time, start to round the spine and hunch over. And so we're kind of not really aware of our spine and its positioning. So starting off by really starting to align from the base down, or from the base up, and that's the base of the spine and our sacral pelvis region. So you want to tilt that forward as if you had a bowl in front of you and you're tilting the contents of the bowl out. So then we're nice and aligned down low. The hips then become aligned, and then we can start to lengthen up through the torso. And then when we get to the top, our cervical spine, we can pull the chin in, and you might even start to feel some of those tendons and ligaments starting to kind of open and lengthen in the neck. Crown of the head generally is going straight up towards your ceiling or towards the sky. And this is just a really nice place to start because this is really how we should be sitting when we are sitting during the day at work. And obviously your workspace is going to have a lot to do with this, your computer, your desk, your chair. So you want to get all of those things to really be supporting your spine and your body to be in this position comfortably. And I always say we need breaks. It's not healthy or normal to be sitting for long periods of time. So if you can, I would put a timer on your phone and I would force yourself to get up every hour. And if this just means you get up, you turn your timer off, you walk to go get a glass of water, you take 5 minutes and you do some stretching, you go for a walk around the block, whatever you do, just get up, move around, move all your parts around, do some of this class, do some breathing, close your eyes, but get up if you can about every hour, and that's going to be really helpful as well, because then we don't sit and curve the spine for long periods of time. All right, core work is also going to be very helpful. I'm a huge component of strength training. So strength training, doing more core work is going to be helpful then to help us sit up straight and not hunch. So, all right, getting into it here, we're going to close our eyes, starting to become aware of our breath. Taking nice, long, deep inhales, filling up again from the base of the spine all the way through the belly. Feel that expand through the chest. Feel that heart open, lungs widen. And then when you feel like you've gotten to the throat, take another sip in and try to imagine the breath going all the way up to the crown of the head. Gonna feel kind of the back spread apart as well here. And then open mouth release. Couple more of those. Big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale. And open mouth, release. Beautiful. I'm just going to check the time to make sure we're not going over too much here. So I'm trying to keep these videos about 30 minutes or less. Okay. So what we're going to do to start off with is get into the neck a little bit. So just take right ear to right shoulder. And then we're going to take our left arm behind the back. And we're going to take our right hand and just take it to the kind of side of the head here, the left side, and just kind of holding onto the head. You don't have to really press down at all. We want to start to open up through all the tendons and the ligaments here on the left side of the neck that are running down to the top of our back, through our shoulders, and then through the front side into kind of our chest, collarbone area. So 3 breaths here. You can ujjayi, seal the lips, breathing in and out through the nose here if that feels good, or inhale, open mouth, exhale. When you're done, you'll slowly come back and we'll unravel the arms, give them a little shake. We'll move on to the other side. So a little half bind with the right arm. We're gonna take our left ear to our left shoulder, left hand on the right side of the head now, just holding, a little press down if you want to, but you do not have to. Breathing deeply. The key here is really breathing deeply. You're not breathing naturally really right now. You're really making the breath exaggerated, and you want to feel your tissues, your muscles, your tendons, your ligaments, the skin. You want to feel it all stretching and opening, loosening, softening. All these kind of words, these descriptive words, we want to imagine our tissues, our body, releasing anything we no longer need, anything holding us back, weighing us down. Beautiful. All right, slowly coming back to center there. You can undo the arm, give it a little shake, and then we're just gonna do some circles with the head. So you can start to the right. We'll inhale back, and exhale forward. Just taking 3 clockwise circles, getting some movement in the neck. Super beneficial if you've been static for a while, staring at a computer. You want to keep movement, keep things fluid, keep fluid moving around in the spine and the body. We're switching now, counterclockwise. Inhale back, exhale forward. So you can do any part of this class on your little breaks, or you could take a longer break and do the whole thing. All right, so now that we've got kind of the neck opened up, a little bit of movement, we'll just take a little bit of shoulder opening here. So grabbing your opposite elbows behind your back. And if you can't grab opposite elbows, all good. You're gonna grab anything that you can. So it could be forearms, could be wrists, could even be just your hands. We're gonna tuck the chin down. You should feel a nice stretch through the front of the chest. Nice little opening here of the front of the shoulders. And you're gonna feel this intensely when you inhale. It's gonna be the expansion, the opening. I apologize if my voice got a lot louder there. I was right next to my mic, just realizing that. Beautiful. We'll release that, and then we're going to give ourselves a big hug. So a little bit of an opposite motion here. Just getting kind of into the back side of the body. So we want to get into all areas, all sides. Anytime we open up the front, you want to kind of think about the back. So spreading the shoulder blades apart, inhaling, exhaling. It's really nice to balance out the body when you're doing a little bit of body work and kind of opening things up. I generally take 3 rounds of breath, and really any kind of pose I'm doing, that would be like the minimum amount of time. Of course, if you have more time, take more time. All right, beautiful. So we're just gonna shake out the arms there. If you've been typing a lot, you might even do some finger stretches, kind of interlacing the fingers. You can kind of press down, getting into the wrists. Opening up through the forearm, the wrists, the fingers, really good. You can open and close. You can shake. Yeah, shaking's a really nice way to kind of get things moving, get energy flowing, blood flow flowing back through the body. Okay, so we're gonna put our props off to the side here, getting into a little bit of cat-cow. And getting into our flexion and extension in the spine. So flexion, well, we'll start with extension because we're going to inhale first, drop the belly, open the chest. So think about pulling the shoulders back, squeezing through the shoulder blades as you either look forward or slightly gaze up. And then this is a big kind of tilting of the pelvis forward. So you're going to feel that in the pelvis. It tilts forward as you drop the belly. And then it's a grounding down, pulling the pelvis up, tailbones going down now as we pull the navel in, press the ground away from us, gaze down or towards even your navel here. Chin can go in or stay out. And this was our exhale. So continuing that, maybe just getting a little bit more of that flexion and extension into the spine. So if heart opening is the extension, then flexion is the rounding of the spine. So typically we have too much rounding, so we're balancing that out with some extension. But it's kind of good to get some movement in. Okay, so our first pose we're going to do here is fish pose. I mean, we've been doing a little bit of kind of stretching and stuff, but this will be our first kind of yin pose. We're going to put a prop down underneath the head to start. Ideally, that prop is lower than the second prop. If you do have yoga blocks, you're taking 1 yoga block on the first height, then you're going to take 1 yoga block on the second height. First block is horizontal to you, second block is vertical to you. So the second block is going to be placed underneath the, or in between the shoulder blades, excuse me. So you might have to kind of figure out where that is for you. Might take a second, laying down and then maybe moving that block to be right under the head. And of course you can play around with the block placement, your prop placement in general, making sure this feels good for you. You want to see this nice curve in the spine. Again, this is extension of the spine. It's a heart opener. It's a back bend. I like to kind of take the arms wide or take them overhead, and that feels really good through my side body, through my armpits, the kind of pec muscles, and all through the front side of my body. And then we're just gonna hang out here. If you need a little bit more lift, feel free. I'm just gonna move this little drum over. Legs can be straight here. If you want to kind of get into a little bit of hip action too, you could do Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees wide. Yeah, I'm just going to keep mine straight here, focusing a little bit more on my upper body and the spine and the back here. It's going to be really good for the shoulders too. Letting those kind of just hang here in gravity or in space, letting gravity kind of pull them down. Feels nice as you breathe. Again, it could be an Ujjayi breath at this point, if that feels good. Remember, Ujjayi is nice and warming. The victorious breath. Could be good for focus since it's not a natural way to breathe. Takes quite a bit of concentration, which can keep you in the present moment, which is another thing we want to be focusing on while we're doing these poses. A lot of the stress, a lot of the tightness in our body is coming from stress. I should say a lot of the pain and tightness in our bodies coming from stress. And it might not be like something traumatic. Stress, there's all different levels of stress. A deadline at work can be stressful. A client calling upset can be stressful. A project not working out the way it was supposed to, not getting results that you wanted. There's so many different levels of stress, and all different types of stress cause usually a physical response in the body. Hey, Bobs. So just kind of putting aside the past, putting aside your work, putting aside the future, and really spending as much time as we can, especially in these poses and self-care, in the present moment. The present moment relieves us of worry, of fear, of stress. It takes us from a very busy external experience to a more calm internal one where we can recharge, where we can really reset our nervous system and regulate it. We can kind of clear our mind for a little bit and kind of recharge our brain. And this helps with energy levels. This helps with, stamina, motivation, creativity, all kinds of mental and emotional functioning that we need to feel and be our best. We'll take another big breath in here, fill up. Open mouth, exhale. On the exhale, you're gonna slowly start to lift up on the sitting up off of the blocks. Put the blocks off to the side. And Pai Pai has decided to join us for class, so I'm gonna let him hang out and we'll just lay on our back for a couple breaths here. Kind of a neutral position. Just letting the spine come back to neutral, letting sensation dissipate. And then just noticing your five senses and sight behind the eyelids, anything you can smell, taste, hear, or touch. And we just give our senses, our mind, our body a quick little break. Taking time to just observe ourselves in the moment, in the present, giving us a little bit more insight on how we're doing and if we need to make any changes or shifts. And I think that's really what is so fascinating about this practice. Giving us real-time insights into our existence and how to modify if we need to. Another big breath in. And a big breath out. All right, we're going to do one more pose here, and it's just going to be laying down on the belly. And we're going to cross our arms. So we've done quite a bit of heart opening, especially in that fish pose we were just in. Now we're going to open up the upper back a little bit just to kind of counter that. So crossing our arms right over left, you're going to place your chin down on your arm or a prop. And we'll just take a couple breaths here, breathing into kind of the upper back, the sides of the shoulders. Closing the eyes here and just breathing. Nice audible inhales and exhales as we continue to open and release any tension you might be holding onto, any tightness. Also releasing any kind of thoughts on repeat, anything that might be weighing you down emotionally, mentally. We'll take another inhale here. Open mouth, release. Beautiful. I'm going to slowly press up here to our elbows and come into a quick little Sphinx pose before we get into the other side. So you can stay on the elbows here if this feels good, or you can come up off of the elbows into more of a seal variation. Gazing forward or gazing up as you breathe. Another little heart opener here and some extension of the spine. The higher you come up, the more you're going to feel this in the abs, the obliques. If you feel any pinching or pain in the low back, you've probably gone up too high. You're going to want to lower back down. Take one more inhale here. Open mouth, release. All right, we're going to cross left over right here, a couple breaths. Getting into the other side of the shoulders a little bit. Make sure in all these poses you're really doing a little body scan, starting to relax the muscles a little bit more so you can get into all the fascia, all the connective tissue that surrounds the muscles. Releasing physically, mentally, and emotionally when we do that as well. We'll take one more inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Coming back to elbows. Couple rounds of breath in either Sphinx or our seal pose. Beautiful. Coming back down to the elbows if you were in seal. And then to kind of end here, giving the spine a little bit of counter movement again, we'll take an embryo pose. So knees together, head can come down to a prop. You can take the hands behind you. A little rock here, side to side, might feel good. Just getting that low back kind of rounding would probably feel really good after being on our bellies, and a little bit of a longer extension position with both of those poses, really, the crossing of the arms and our Sphinx and seals. All right, when you're ready, we'll slowly come up to sitting, and we'll come back to our comfortable seated position. I forgot to mention it's really beneficial to dress warmly, socks, pants, cozy sweaters when we're doing these practices. You want to stay as warm as possible because a lot of these practices with yin, we're cooling the body actually. So you want to make sure that when you cool the body and you're doing these poses that you're not actually cold. That's going to cause muscle tensing, and yeah, that's the opposite of what we want. So bringing our hands to our heart center, setting an intention maybe for the rest of our day or our evening, wherever we are. Pressing the thumbs into the heart space, just kind of noticing if you feel any difference in the neck, the shoulders, the torso, the spine. Noticing how it feels when you breathe now. Maybe a lightness, an ease. Maybe you feel a little bit more at peace. Maybe a little bit clearer, motivated, recharged, ready to get back to work or have a nice restful evening. Or maybe you did this in the morning and you're about to go to work. You could do that too. Really any time of the day. A lot of people think yin's just for the evenings, but you can do this any time of the day, morning, afternoon, midday, to really recharge you physically, mentally, emotionally. We'll take another big breath in here, fill up. Open mouth, exhale. Beautiful. Thumbs up to the third eye. The light in me sees and shares the beautiful light in you. It's always an honor. Thank you for allowing me to guide you. We all bow forward in gratitude. Namaste. Thanks again for joining me. Again, my name's Nicole with Nicole Turner Yoga. Super, super grateful to be here with you all in this community and this tribe. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can send me an email anytime or leave me a comment in the comment section below this video. Feel free to request other videos anytime by doing the same. You can comment on any of the videos in the tribe or send me an email. All right, have a beautiful day or evening wherever you are in the world, and I hope to connect with you soon, again, in person or online. Take care.